Hey guys, it's your girl Celestine's Camera Roll, and I am here with good news to report about my baby boy. Hopefully this is the first to the second video about what's going to happen. I got a call last week. I know you guys seen that I posted on my community wall saying showing a screenshot where she said I have good news, and then I got a phone call like about an hour to an hour and a half later. We are going to talk about that good news. Y'all ready? Stay seated, stay tight. I do have my iPad with me. This is going to help me remember to address important notes that I need to say, because sometimes when I get done with a video I'm like, oh my god, I forgot to tell them this, and then I'll just end up going live spilling the beans that way. But I'm gonna try to do all of this in a video. I am still gonna go live sometime this week or not, I'm not sure. We are going to talk about what that phone call was about. I got this phone call. She said, Miss Sanders, I have good news. She told me that her supervisor, I've been seeing some of y'all for y'all first time comments, because I can't click on the icon and see what's what and if it's your first comment or not, talking about I shouldn't talk about certain things. I don't live my life in fear. I live in truth. And so if you're looking for me to live on eggshells, this video or my journey is not for you. And nothing that I have said or done has made me look unstable. My social worker has seen some of my videos and she knows what's going on, including me feeling depressed when my baby leaves or is sad a little bit. And even her supervisor said that's a little normal, because who's not gonna feel sad when their baby leaves and you only get to see them for 2 hours? But back to the video, let's continue. I cannot say names. I'm allowed to discuss. Oh, and this is a disclaimer that I want to put out here. I'm allowed to discuss what's going on with my case. I just cannot say names. Like, I can't say my social worker's name. I can't say the supervisor's name. I can't say names, but I can discuss. I can say social worker, supervisor, but I cannot say names. And this is a disclaimer that I'm putting out here because y'all be like, be careful what you put out there. Be careful what you put out there. I see some comment, and that be the first comment they ever made on my channel, because I do be clicking them icons, baby. And when I click them icons, I can see that that's your first comment, second comment, how many times you commented, what you commented on, what video, where, who, and what. I can tell my newbies from my loyals. My social worker has seen my channel. My social worker has seen some of my videos because I showed them to her, and she actually loves that I do this. So I'm just gonna put that out there straight like that. The good news was, she said, Miss Sanders, I got good news. And she said, my supervisor said that it's time for baby to come home. And I was like, it is? And she said, yes. She said, what's going to happen is we are going to do a TDM. And also, I want this video to be informal of someone who may be going through the same steps that I am, or trying to get custody of their baby back. So I want this to be an informational video where I also can enlighten someone else who's going through the same journey. So what's going to happen is, she said we are going to do a TDM meeting, and I will also explain that it is the process of when they're going to remove custody or give custody back to you, meaning reunification. So basically, when you do a TDM meeting, it's a team decision meeting where they decide how they're going to keep the baby in the home rather than putting him in foster care. In my case now, we did that the first time, and the team decision meeting was basically, I either live with dad or dad lives with me, or dad takes custody of the baby to keep him out of foster care, and the father totally flat out didn't want to do it. I'm not gonna say it's because of his health issues, because I don't know what, half the time when he be talking to me, I don't be knowing half what's true and half what's false. When we did that team decision meeting, he decided not to take the baby. Then fast forward to like about 2-3 months ago, they asked him to do parenting classes. He found a way to wiggle out of the parenting classes, and then I want to do the parenting classes. That was like, you know, what the first team decision meeting was, and some of the case plan that we both had to go through. So in other words, the father just flat out bumped this case plan, you do it by yourself. And I did it. I did that. So the decision came to that they were going to take custody. They were waiting on his discharge from the hospital, which happened on December the 21st. And I went to go call my baby, see how my baby was doing in the NICU, and I was told, hey, you can't call and check on his status because you no longer have custody. Children's Services now has custody, and so you cannot come up and see the baby. I went to go get my baby bag, because I was like, ain't nobody about to take what belongs to me from the hospital. So I went to get my baby bag. My child's father said that there was police up there acting like they were going to bombard him because they thought he was coming to kidnap the baby or start some drama. He really just wanted to get my baby bag that I had left behind, because I thought my baby was coming home, and that was his coming home bag and like his coming home outfit, all of that. So then he was removed. We did this team decision meeting, and they took custody of the baby because whatever was supposed to be decided on didn't get decided on correctly. And then they went to court and did a emergency custody order. So my baby has been in temporary custody since. Now, I did go to court again, and they claimed him to be dependent. When they claimed him to be dependent, they basically said that I had to work a case plan. I worked my case plan. I did a psych eval. The psych eval was horrible. It was all a bunch of lies. So you know how they say seeing is believing? That's basically what they did with me. They saw, and now they believe, and he's coming home. Now, I truly believe that had they followed, and I had a messed up social worker with a messed up supervisor, my baby would have never came home. Okay? I had a wonderful social worker, so I don't have to worry about him not coming home. And even the supervisor and their team, including my guardian ad litem that works for the baby as well. So they read through the psych eval that was done, and it was basically saying she's a baby murderer. She doesn't need to have her baby around her. She has no knowledge of when this happens, when that happens, when a baby is a baby. First of all, I haven't had a baby in 15 years, so I'm not gonna know everything off rip. Okay, I'm gonna go off of what I think I remember and take an estimate or a guess, whatever. And I told them I was a little rusty. They wrote that down on the paper that I was a little rusty, and which I am. Like, you know, I don't sit up and have babies back to back. They 15 years apart. So that happened. So that was the first team decision meeting that was done to remove him. Now they're going to do another team decision meeting, which is to reunify him with me. This team decision meeting has not happened yet. Hence, I wanted to celebrate with you guys, but we'll do the celebration on another video when I get dates and word when. I may surprise y'all when he's home and do just like a pop-up with him on my lap and be like, he's home. I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but you guys are definitely gonna get a video to celebrate. And I was also told via social worker, Miss Sanders, you need to celebrate. Go celebrate. I want you to celebrate. I want you to celebrate. I have not celebrated yet, but I will. It just doesn't, I don't know. I still have to go through the whole weekend without having my baby, and I have to wait for her to get back from vacation. And all of that is just gonna seem mentally long-winded, like it's taking forever. So I really haven't celebrated yet. I'm not celebrating until the week has started, and I know I'm going to be getting phone calls telling me when the meeting is, the team decision meeting is. Now, back to the team decision meeting. This team decision, and this is to be, you know, informational and enlightening to other people who are going through this. Now, this team decision meeting is probably going to ask me, where am I going to be taking the baby to the doctor, which I've seen a children's hospital clinic up the street. It's not too far from here. They're probably gonna ask, like, there's gonna be a lot of people at my team decision meeting. They want the foster mom there, the social worker, the case worker, supervisor, the guardian ad litem, me, the father. I have to tell them. I actually told her, I said, are you gonna call the father and let the father know when the meeting is? She said, I'll work with him. This is what she said, and she ain't spitting no lies. She said, he ain't done nothing on this case. You've done everything on your own and earned everything on your own. I will deal with him whenever. She not too thrilled about telling him, but she was thrilled to tell me because I did this whole case plan by myself. She was like, we'll worry about him at a later date. I'm to the point now where, my baby's crib needs to be adjusted. He hasn't came and adjusted. I need him to put together the high chair that came off of my registry. Somebody did order me a high chair off the registry, and I want to say thank you. Take the time to thank you, Mrs. Tibbs. I really appreciate that you went out of your way and got Ezekiel his high chair. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much, so much. I really appreciate that. And speaking back on the high chair that was bought off my registry, I asked him if he could put together the high chair. I asked him if he could adjust the crib, because the crib is at the lowest point where my arms, I'm 4'9", so my arms are very short, and I don't want to grab my baby by the arm. You can pull something out of socket, anything. So I need the mattress to be raised up to the highest point. They no longer make drop cribs, so like it doesn't have a drop crib entrance where you can, like, you know how you used to pull it up and pull it down and you can get your baby out. They don't make those anymore, and which that's something that I was not aware of at all. I haven't had a baby in 15 years, so I didn't know they stopped making those. They also don't make crib bumpers anymore because they're a hazard as well. So they're saying drop cribs and bumpers are hazardous, and I was like, what? Has it been that long since I had a baby? So now they just make cribs with, like, where you can elevate the mattress, but I don't have an Allen wrench screw to adjust it, and you can adjust it to the lowest setting if your arms are a little bit longer than mine. And he has not put together the crib, and I've asked him to do so. I haven't heard from him since Wednesday. He told me he would get on it. Today is Saturday, and you still haven't done that. And that's what the social worker means by the father hasn't done anything on this case. I'll work with telling him later. He hasn't bought Ezekiel anything still, and Ezekiel is 9 months, okay? He hasn't even came over and did things that don't cost money, like adjusting his crib. And I'm just so sick of it. He comes to one visit. He didn't come to not one visit this week. And I don't know if he coming next week, but I don't even give a damn. And it's to the point where I won't be telling the father when the meeting is. If I show up by myself, I show up by myself. Everything I've done up to this point has been done by myself. Now, back to the information area of the video. So when we do this team decision, I'm going to basically be telling where I'm going to be taking him to the doctor. I will be switching doctors because I do not want the doctor that was linked to while I had a case, during the case. I want my own personal doctor that I can pick and choose. They're probably going to ask me where am I going to take him for WIC. They're probably going to just, like, basically, you know, touch bases on what we're going to do to sustain him in his home. Is going to be, like I said, once again, my guardian ad litem, the social worker, her supervisor, my case manager, my therapist, because they want to make sure that I'm still talking to my therapist, which I am, and the father if he comes or doesn't come. And I'm not going to be responsible for making sure he get there or telling him the dates. He going to have to figure it out. You know how to figure out everything else on your own when you want to figure it out, and when you want to do something that you feel like you should do and that you want to do. So you figure that out. Anyway, yeah, so after the team decision meeting will be court. My court date is September the 13th. I thought it was the 12th, but it's the 13th. So being that, that means that the team decision meeting is going to happen first, and then the court date happens second, because whatever's discussed at the team decision meeting has to be brought up in court. And my social worker says she's going to ask for protective supervision. Now, we're going to have a sunset hearing, which is December, which is basically like the end of the case hearing. And that's going to happen in December, which was the month that he was removed from me. And so she said, Ms. Saunders, I'm going to ask for protective supervision, and we have to do a team decision meeting. So in order for them to ask for protective supervision, we have to have everything lined up at this team decision meeting, which is going to happen before the court date. Now, right now, my social worker is on vacation. So when she comes back, I believe the foster mom says she comes back Tuesday. when she comes back, she'll give me the date of the team decision meeting, which means it's going to be before the 13th. That absolutely is going to have to be before court, because anything we discuss in that meeting has to be discussed in court so that the judge can okay everything for there to be protective supervision. Now, for those of you who are going through this same journey, protective supervision is where the baby is at home. I'm not sure what my social worker means when she says her supervisor says that it's time for Ezekiel to come home. I'm sure of what she means by that, but what I mean by I'm not sure what she means, I know they can't just send him home. The case still has to be open. So I'm wondering, when she says it's time for him to come home, does that mean that he's coming home under protective supervision for the last 3 months? And I'm gonna go ahead and assume that that is what that means. So we're gonna do protective supervision. He'll probably be here sometime in October. When I get the final date, we will have a celebration. And once he's home in October, it will be basically 3 months of protective supervision, which means he's at home, but my case is still open. Kind of like when you have a protective supervision case and someone called on you and they find findings, but they leave the baby at home, but they knock on the door once every 3 months. So I'm going to get a knock at the door once every 3 months. I'm going to probably have to, I'm going to have to open my door, show proof that I've taken him to his doctor's appointment, show proof that he had a week appointment, when I took him, what happened, when was that week, for the last 3 months, just to make sure that we can keep him at home and I'm doing the correct stuff to make sure that he's taken care of. That is what protective supervision is. And she says she's going to ask for that at this court date, which will happen September 13th after the team decision meeting. I'm not sure what day the team decision meeting is yet, because she's on vacation, and so we'll square that away. I will keep y'all in the loop about everything. And then I did not get to see baby Ezekiel Thursday at all, because the foster mom went on vacation. The social worker was like, Miss Saunders, I have to get permission to, my parental rights are not gone, so they still have to ask me permission for my baby to go out of town, out of state, travel with foster mom. They have to ask permission. I surely do hope that this is the last trip they're going to take before Ezekiel is at home for protective supervision, because I don't like missing my visits. I don't like missing my days. They could have left on a Friday when I didn't have a visit. Y'all could have let me get my last day. The social worker sat down and talked to me. She said, Miss Saunders, I don't think you want the baby to see a different face, have to get used to that face. He may cry the whole time. Let foster mom take him, because he's already used to foster mom. And you'll get, like, I guess I can get extra hours. Now, how I'm hoping this will go is this week, Tuesday, when my visits start back, I want to do 4 hours instead of 3. I don't want an extra visitation day. I want 4 hours instead of 3. So instead of me getting, each visit is 3 hours a day. So I missed the whole 3-hour day. So if I get 3 days and divide it by 3, that's 1 day per day. So like, instead of me getting 3 hours, I want 4 days for 3 days. So 4 hours, 4 hours, 4 hours, because they have to break up the 3 hours for the 3-hour day that I missed. And I would love that, because I feel like I'll have him longer each day, and it'll make me feel so much better. So yeah, that is the news. Let me look at my iPad and make sure that I discussed everything. Yeah, that I did. I actually hit everything. So I hope you guys are happy with the news that I'm giving you guys and the information that I've given. I hope that this information can help others who are going through this journey on what to expect when it's time for a TDM. This is my first time going through a reunification plan. And I know y'all probably like, what you mean this your first time going through a reunification plan? Didn't you have other kids that were taken? Yes, I did. But I didn't get to the reunification phase, is what I mean by this is my first time going through reunification. Like, they're actually giving him back to me. They're not trying to play me like they did on the other case. Now, the other case, the attorney told me to not take it to court not take it to trial, leave it where it's at because they got too much proof. And I wish I wouldn't have did that, because I had proof that I was taking them to the doctor. I just switched doctors because the doctor threatened to take my kids. Now, had I known that, but I knew that then, I know now what I didn't know then. So I pretty much knew better to do better this round. And baby boy is coming home. We don't have a date yet, and we perhaps won't have a date until court. Of when they want to protect, because if she's gonna ask for protective supervision, because she said, Miss Sanders, I'm gonna ask for protective supervision this court date. If she's going to ask for protective supervision, I'm quite sure the judge is gonna ask what month or what day do you want to start that, and it might be sometime in October or October in a certain date. So that is the good news. I'm so excited for this next phase in parenthood and this next phase within my case and within my journey. And I want to also thank everyone who has been with me on this journey. Now, I know you guys heard that I will be taking a break when baby boy comes home. I won't not be making content. I will definitely be vlogging while I'm taking a break. I just won't be uploading. So I won't feel the pressures of, I gotta upload, they wanna see them. I gotta upload, they wanna see them. I'm just going to take a break from uploading, but I will be vlogging, and just the vlogs will go out when I'm done with my break, or I'll schedule them to go out when I feel like my break should be over. So I'll have like maybe 4 or 5 videos ready to shoot out, and I ain't gotta do no work to record. So that's kind of like what I'm gonna be on. And once again, I thank everybody again. Miss Tibbs, thank you for baby Zeke's high chair. I really appreciate that, and I will see you guys on the next one. Bye.